Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the lives and careers of exceptional athletes. Today we have a special treat for you. Henry Cejudo, an Olympic gold medalist and a two-division UFC champion. This man has shattered records and defied expectations at every turn. His story is astonishing, from wrestling glory to becoming one of the greatest fighters ever. So, buckle up as we unfold the incredible journey of Henry Cejudo. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos. Henry Cejudo is an amazing athlete, yet he didn't get the attention he deserved for a long time. When he surprisingly stepped back from his career after defeating Dominic Cruz, everyone understood they just witnessed the final match of one of the greatest fighters ever. But Henry's journey started before he became famous in mixed martial arts. He was originally a wrestler, and a good one, thanks to his brother Angel. Angel was a top-notch wrestler who never lost a match, with an impressive 150 victories. Inspired by Angel, Henry also became a top wrestler, winning the state championship 4 times. By 2006, he was even honored as the best high school wrestler in the entire country. When you think about the top American wrestlers in the Ultimate Fighting Championships, many of them got there by shining in college wrestling after high school. But Henry did things differently. He jumped into senior-level wrestling when he was just 18. He did really well, winning the U.S. National Championship twice, and even getting 3rd place in the 2007 World Cup. But the biggest moment for him was in 2008. He shocked everyone despite not going through college wrestling and being only 21. The final match was surprisingly the easiest for him in that tournament. He set a record by becoming the youngest American to win an Olympic gold medal in wrestling, a record that stood until Kyle Snyder broke it 8 years later. After his big win, Henry took a surprising break from wrestling until he returned in 2010, hoping to relive his past success. However, he couldn't make it onto the U.S. Olympic team again. After just one more match he didn't win, he said goodbye to his wrestling career at 25. On January 30th, 2013, Henry shared news on Twitter that he would enter the world of mixed martial arts. In just 10 months, he won 6 fights without a single loss. His easy victory over Elias Garcia opened the door to the UFC, the most prominent mixed martial arts group globally. His first UFC fight against Dustin Kimura was on December 13th, 2014. Everyone was excited to see an Olympic gold medalist in action, and Henry didn't disappoint. He proved he was more than just a wrestler by being excellent at striking. After knocking Dustin down in the first round, he controlled the fight and won, with all judges agreeing he was the winner. But he didn't slow down. In less than a year, he had 4 fights and won them all. Amazingly, after only 3 years in this sport, he was given the chance to fight for the championship title. Facing a champion is always a hard battle, and for Henry, it was against one of the greatest fighters ever, Demetrious Johnson. Johnson was defending his title for the 8th time, and even though Henry was incredible, only a few thought he could challenge DJ for the title. And it seemed they were correct. DJ soon proved there's a big difference in skill levels when it comes to fighting. He ended the fight against Cejudo in the first round with powerful knee strikes, leading to a technical knockout. After his defeat, Henry took on a new role as a coach on the Ultimate Fighter TV show, and then faced the second-ranked contender, Joseph Benavidez. The fight was tight, with both fighters shining at different moments. However, Joseph ended up winning by a split decision. The judges' scores were odd. One saw Henry as the winner of all 3 rounds, while the other 2 felt Joseph had won. Henry, along with many fans, believed he'd won. The loss hit him hard, but having been in the sport for just 3.5 years, his potential was still enormous as an Olympic champion. 9 months later, Henry returned to the cage. The match that truly marked his growth into a well-rounded mixed martial artist was the one against Wilson Hayes. Henry had always been top-notch from his first fight, but this clash seemed like a turning point in his career. It was also the first time everyone saw him adopt a karate stance in his fighting style. In that match, Henry seemed like a true karate expert. Wilson just couldn't hit him. Henry's speedy movements and aggressive fighting led to him winning by a technical knockout in the second round. This victory kicked off an incredible streak for him. He sensed he was nearing another chance at the title, but first he had to defeat Sergio Pettis. He managed to do so quite comfortably, winning with all judges in agreement. Next up was another chance at the championship. The challenge? Demetrius Johnson was still the reigning champion of the flyweight division. Henry knew he needed to be almost flawless even to stand a chance of winning. Their last fight had been 2 years earlier. When we think about it now, that fight was one of the greatest ever. The skill level between these two fighters was extraordinary. They showed everything the sport offers in 25 minutes of pure mixed martial arts wonder. But there had to be one winner, and Henry did it. He stopped a championship reign that had lasted 2,412 days, halting an 11-fight winning streak. If anyone was going to end DJ's rule, it was Henry Cejudo. After claiming the flyweight title, Henry was lined up to face another champion, TJ Dillashaw, from the bantamweight division this time. TJ aimed to be the 4th UFC fighter to hold titles in 2 divisions at the same time. So he dropped his weight to 125 pounds to challenge Henry. Everyone expected a technical battle that might last 5 rounds, but the fight was over in just 32 seconds. Henry took TJ down with a flurry of punches, successfully defending his flyweight championship. Now, Henry had his eyes set on a new goal: to hold 2 championship belts at the same time. If he could do it, he'd be only the 4th fighter in UFC history to achieve such a feat. Marlon Moraes may be on a 6-fight losing streak now and no longer in the UFC, but when he faced Henry, he seemed unbeatable. He was taking down top fighters in the first round, even knocking out former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling with a powerful knee. He was the one Henry had to beat to hold 2 championship belts simultaneously. Marlon's danger was clear as the fight began, particularly in the first round. Henry was taking a lot of hits, especially from strong leg kicks, and he might lose his chance at the bantamweight title. But Henry held on through Marlon's fierce attacks, and after the second round, it was his turn to take control and fight back. Everyone knew Henry was skilled by then, but this fight showed something more: his sheer determination and desire to win. After giving up the flyweight title, he focused solely on defending his bantamweight championship. Dominick Cruz was the next challenger. Right from the start, Henry was hitting hard with his leg kicks. Given Dominick's strength as his unique movement, it was an interesting fight. However, Dominick kept ducking after moving in, which a clever fighter like Henry spotted as a chance to end the fight. And that's exactly what he did. Henry perfectly timed his knee to connect when Cruz ducked. It hit right on target, leading Henry to move in to finish off the former champ quickly. The fight was called off at the close of the second round. At 33, Henry Cejudo had a few more fights left in him before retiring. But that wasn't his plan. One of the all-time greatest fighters, an Olympic wrestling champion, and a UFC champion in both the flyweight and bantamweight divisions. The man who put a stop to the longest championship reign in UFC history decided to leave the sport. It's not often an athlete steps away at their peak. Henry clearly felt he'd achieved everything he set out to do. He'd secured his legacy as a true legend and was now ready to relax and enjoy the rewards of his hard work. From Olympic wrestling champion to UFC legend, Henry Cejudo has proven that limits are just a state of mind. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into his incredible career. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and help us grow this channel. Also, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Triple C is one of the all-time greats? Leave your comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.